Born June 24th, 1961. Wayman Lane Stricklin Jr. in Calera, Alabama. Hut's father, Wayman Sr., helped him with, basically, financially, helped him to get him started the first few years he got racing. His father, not having an endless supply of funding for his own business ventures, helped Hut as much as he could financially, as much as he could bear. Then Hut had to figure out some new opportunities on his own. Though he did find success on the local short track circuit around Alabama, made his Xfinityseries debut in 1985 at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the number 05. Started 28th and he finished 19th. Ran 3 other Xfinityseries races in 1987 in the number 33 Oldsmobile. Best start at 20th at South Boston and best finish at 12th at Rougemont. Now, 1986, Stricklin met his wife, Pam, the daughter of 10-time Cup Series winner Donnie Allison, through his friend Davey Allison, son of Bobby Allison. Hut and Pam got married on November 7th, 1986. This made Hut the final member of the famed Alabama gang. So, him having success and stuff on the local short track circuit, it was a plus. And he also got a ride in the NASCAR Dash Series in 1986. In 87, he won 9 out of 17 races and won 10 poles, along with the 1987 Dash Series Championship. Now, Stricklin got his first opportunity to race in the Cup Series that same season, in the Skip Janey number 76 Oldsmobile. He ran 3 races right at the end of the season, with a best start of 19th and a best finish of 16th, both at Atlanta. He ran 2 more Xfinity races in 1988 in the number 9 Pontiac. Best start of 18th, best finish 19th at Rougemont. Now, referring to the new opportunities Stricklin was forced to figure out, he got to know the team manager for Austerlin Racing, Roland Lodke. This eventually ended up leading to Stricklin signing with the team to go Cup Series racing full-time in 1989. They also ran 1 Xfinity Series race at Charlotte, starting 22nd and finishing 36th. This, of course, all in the Heinz Ketchup number 57 Pontiac. In his first full season in the Cup Series, he missed the Daytona 500 in the 4th race of the year at Richmond, but he and the team made all the remaining races in the 1989 Cup Series season. He ended up finishing the year runner-up in the Cup Series Rookie of the Year standings to Dick Trickle. He was able to get 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s in the first season. His best start, 11th at Atlanta, and his best finish, 4th at Michigan. He ended up 26th in point standings. In 1990, Stricklin was fortunate enough to get an opportunity with Paramount Pictures to serve as one of a few professional drivers to help the production of Days of Thunder. Now, everybody's heard of this movie, I know. Most of you have seen it. Now, Carolyn Carrier, the daughter of Bristol Motor Speedway founder Larry Carrier, and the liaison between NASCAR and Paramount Pictures, offered him a job part-time. Stricklin very quickly accepted. He drove the number 51 Exxon car that the heel character Ratty Burns drives in the movie. He also did just some other just random things to help teach crews to drive and just different stuff throughout the movie. He once went to Darlington Raceway and just did like 3 days and just worked on spinouts. I thought it was pretty cool. In 1990, in NASCAR, in Xfinity, Stricklin ran 2 races. 1 race and the number 28 for Bobby Allison, starting 34th and finishing 37th. Then one race for the number 58 for Rodney Franklin, starting 41st and finishing 33rd. The Cup Series season started off very uncertain for Stricklin. He ran the Daytona 500 and the number 68 for TriStar Motorsports, starting 34th and finishing 33rd. A few races later in Atlanta, he ran another race for TriStar Motorsports and their number 18, starting 38th and finishing 37th. At Darlington, he collected footage during an actual on-track competition. He was in the number 51 Exxon Chevy, starting 27th, and he ended up finishing 36th. Hut wasn't 100% sure what was up next for his career, but an opening opened up right around the corner for Hut and Bobby Allison's number 12 team. Now here's what Hutstricklin himself had to say about this big change in his career from an interview that we conducted a couple months ago. You can find this interview back in our archives.
I drove for Bobby and come on board at I think it was the first Talladega race. I think it was. Bobby was just starting his team, and with Mike Alexander as a driver, and Mike was he got injured in a race in the December of the year before, and just he never really got well over that. So he had to had a vacant seat come open, and luckily enough, I was in the right opportunity to get there and be a part of that.
All right. How was it driving, fan? I mean, what did it ever cause issues, arguments? I mean, was it difficult?
No. It was really good. When I look back on it, probably Bobby's thing was probably one of the best, if not the best ride, I had throughout my whole career. It was, everything was new. It was a good team. It was good engines. Jimmy Finnig was my crew chief, and
Wow.
Keith Allman, the Allman Brothers was did the engines and stuff, and so it was a good team. We ran awful good, and just never could cash in and get into victory lane with it, but we came awful close a lot of times.
Right. Yeah, so they were fast right out of the box, starting 18th and finishing 9th at Talladega. He ended up finishing the season with 2 top 10s. That first season, best start 10th at Charlotte, best finish is 6th at Pocono. He ended up 28th in point standings. 1991, Stricklin ran 2 Xfinityseries races, one for the 28 of Bobby Allison, starting 7th and finishing 31st, and one race for the number 92 of Mac Martin, starting 29th and finishing 42nd. On the Cup Series side, his best start was 5th at Daytona, and his best finish was 2nd at Michigan. He scored 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s this season. He ended up 16th in point standings. He did get his career best finish at Michigan, 2nd. In 92, Stricklin ran 13 Xfinityseries races, 1 the number 7 for Ed Whitaker, and 12 in the number 92 for Mac Martin. He ended up with 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. His best start was 2nd at Dover, and his best finish was 2nd at Michigan. Over on the Cup Series side of things, Hut was a bit at a bit of a crossroads, if you will. Stricklin was presented with and accepted the chance to drive the number 27 McDonald's Ford for Junior Johnson, starting in 1993. Knowing this, Bobby Allison went ahead and fired Hut immediately following the Southern 500 from Darlington. He had 4 top 10s in 21 races through that season to date. Best start at 5th at Bristol, and best finish was 7th at Dover. He ran 4 races for the number 90 in Jenny Dunleavy. Best start at 19th at Martinsville, best finish at 15th at Dover. He ran 1 race in the number 97 for Junior Johnson at Charlotte, starting 27th and finishing 31st. He finished in 1992 in the number 41 for Larry Hedrick. Best start, 19th at Atlanta, and best finish, 15th at Phoenix. In 1993, Stricklin ran only 4 Xfinity Series races. All 4 for Tommy Allison's number 28. Tommy basically inherited the team when Davey passed away early in the season. Best start of 11th at Rockingham, best finish 27th at Martinsville. Then, back on the Cup side of things, he got off to a great start, finishing 4th in the Daytona 500, but it was mostly all down from there. He ended up with only 1 top 5 and 2 top 10s the entire year in the Junior Johnson McDonald's Ford, number 27. What Stricklin first thought was going to be his step to the next level as far as competitive equipment, he quickly found this just wasn't what he thought it was all that cracked up to be. Best start, 2nd at Martinsville. Best finish, 4th at Daytona. He was able to finish in the top 25 in points, in 24th position. 1994. Hutt did not run any Xfinity Series races at all. He did switch teams again, joining Travis Carter Motorsports in their Smokin' Joe's number 23 Ford. He was only able to score 1 top 10 finish that entire season, ending up 26th in final point standings. Best start, 2nd at Richmond. Best finish, 9th at Dover. At season's end, Stricklin left this team as well, and for the 4th time in the previous 5 seasons, Jimmy Spencer came in after Hutt drove for the team and took over once he left. This happened for the final time in 1995. In 95, Hutt drove 1 Xfinity Series race at Talladega for himself in the number 37 with Kleenex as sponsor. He started 12th and finished 40th. In Cup, the Kenny Bernstein-owned King Racing had started the season 1995 with sprint car legend Steve Kinser behind the wheel, but he was way off pace, not able to adjust to the much heavier Cup Series cars. So after race 7, the team picked up Stricklin for race 8 at Martinsville till the end of the season. He was able to score 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s, and was able to win his only career pole at Rockingham. Best start, 1st at Rockingham, and best finish, 4th at Dover. Unfortunately, at season's end, King Racing pulled out of NASCAR to go back to just focusing on drag racing. Next season, in 1996, Hutt moved over to the Staubla Brothers, number 8, sponsored by Circuit City in the Cup Series. He did run 8 Xfinity Series races and the number 28 for himself, with Smoky Mountain Chew as a sponsor. Best start, 11th twice, Daytona and Dover. Best finish of 8th in Michigan. In Cup, Stricklin appeared to be on his way to victory in the Southern 500 at Darlington, leading 143 laps before Jeff Gordon was able to get by to score the victory. Hutt's best start was 3rd at Pocono, and his best finish was 2nd at Darlington. He got another top 25 finish in points, coming home 22nd. Following season, in 1997, Hutt didn't run any Xfinity Series races. He did stay with the Staubla Brothers for another season in 97. He only got 1 top 10 finish all season. Best start was 4th at Martinsville, and his best finish was 10th at Loudon. He ended up 33rd in points at the conclusion in 1997. Now, as the page turned from 97 to 98, Hutt really wasn't 100% sure what he was going to do, but he decided to stay with the Staubla Brothers just to see how the season got off, on what foot the season got off to, and, it didn't get off on the right foot at all. He did not, for the 2nd year in a row, he did not start any Xfinity Series races. And like I said, he did start the Cup Series year driving for the Staubla Brothers, but for the first 11 races of the season. But Staubla Brothers let him go following the Coca-Cola 600. He had a best start of 10th at Daytona and a best finish of 29th at Daytona. After that, he ran 5 races for Buzz McCall's number 96 Caterpillar Chevrolet, with a best finish of 24th at Loudon and a best finish of 27th at Pocono. Then he ran 1 race for Doug Bowles, number 77 Jasper Engines Ford, starting 40th and finishing 30th. He also ran 1 race in the number 55 for Andy Petrie, starting 10th, finishing 42nd. In 1999, Hut did make a return to the Xfinity Series after not racing a single race in the series the past 2 years. He ran 6 Xfinity Series races in the number 38 Barbasol Ford for Brad Atkins. His best start was 1st at Homestead, and his best finish was 16th at Dover. He made 1 start for Jenny Dunleavy, his number 90 at Charlotte, starting 31st and finishing 33rd. He also ran 9 races for Scott Barber in the number 58 Ford. Hut's best start was 13th, and his best finish was 9th, both at Michigan. The Y2K, turn of the century, the year 2000. Hut ran 11 Xfinity Series races in 2000, 9 for Steve Coulter in the number 61 IWX Motor Freight Pontiac. He set on the pole at Daytona in Xfinity Series, and his best finish was at Talladega in 6th. He also ran 1 race with Favre Jarrett Racing's number 11 at Pikes Peak, starting 33rd and finishing 28th. And he also ran 1 race for Ned Jarrett's number 88, starting and finishing 27th at Michigan. In Cup, he didn't have a ride till race 20, the Brickyard 400, where he got behind the wheel of Junie Dunleavy's number 90 Ford. Best start, 26th at Michigan. His best finish was 14th at Indianapolis. Now, we'll say, most times, a 14th place finish isn't all that incredible. But not only with subpar equipment did Stricklin pull this off, but Stricklin had to serve as his own crew chief for this race. Now, think about this. In today's NASCAR, that isn't even possible because it's against the rules. But this man didn't even have a crew chief, and he got a top 15 in a crown jewel race in the year 2000 with a car that should have finished 35th. But it just goes to show you, every once in a while, talent can really shine through. And I thought that was really incredible. In 2001, Stricklin did not run any Xfinity Series races at all. In fact, to this day, he has not run another race in that series. He did not attempt to run the full schedule. He did attempt to run a full schedule, but was only able to qualify for 22 out of 35 races that he attempted. Hut, in the number 90, was able to shock the world of NASCAR by finishing 6th at the high-speed 2-mile oval in Michigan.
We had Hanlon was there. The car was driving really good. The horsepower was there. It's just, we had it all, and I felt like, if you could, if we got in position to get in, they're coming down the end of the race, with our aerodynamics and all that stuff on the cars, even then was, equally as important. You had to get in the right position and pass, and, where the car was stable, what have you. But, we just, when we was lucky enough, when it come down to the end there, we got ourselves in a real good position, and could have been even better had we, it just, things would have worked out. But I felt like we had a car that was, top 5 car that day. If we, if we could have just got in position, but our pit stops, not talking about anybody, but our pit stops was really, not up to par with the guys who run week in, week out, and our whole crew was not a specialty, crew. They were, guys that work on the car during the day, and then they would, go change tires and gas during the race. And
his best start of the season was 8th at Michigan in the fall. And his best finish of 6th at Michigan, the first race at Michigan that year. At Atlanta, Hut made his first start in the number 23 Dodge for Bill Davis Racing. He both started and finished 11th. Then in 2002, Stricklin made the previously mentioned switch to Bill Davis Racing in the Hills Brothers Coffee number 23 Dodge. His best start, 21st at Las Vegas, and his best finish, 11th at Talladega. After race 24 at Bristol Motor Speedway, Hut made the difficult decision to walk away from racing. He said he was no longer having fun and did not really enjoy coming to the track anymore. So, with one Dash Series championship in 1987, 328 Cup Series starts, this man decided to go ahead and leave racing in 2002 after the Bristol race. And he ended up opening the salvage yard, and he continues to grow old with his wife, Pam. Thank you for taking time out of your day for viewing this latest episode of NASCAR Underdogs. Take care.